Hello there, a very good evening and welcome to Primetime News on TV1. We've got the latest news lined up for you from here at home and across the globe. But before we get into those stories in detail, let's have a look at your headlines for tonight.
President requests everyone to refrain from making statements that would denigrate national security. Amarapura and Ramanya sects unite to form a new Sangha Sabha. Vasudeva speaks of the position that will be given to the president if he joins the Pohot tour. Who is the JVP presidential candidate?
Now, in a look at one of your headline stories. First, in a historic decision, the Mahanayakas of the Amarapura and Ramanya sects have reached an agreement to combine the two sects. There were three main sects in Sri Lanka, namely the Siam, Amarapura and Ramanya sects. Today, at the Sri Lanka Foundation Institute, the Amarapura and Ramanya sects endorsed an agreement to combine the two. The agreement that combined the sects was signed by the chief prelate of the Sri Lanka Amarapura sect, Most Venerable Kotugoda Dhammavasi Thera, and chief prelate of the Ramanya sect, Most Venerable Napane Premasiri Thera. The Sri Lanka Amarapura sect was established in 1802, while the backdrop for the initiation of the Ramanya sect was set in 1863. The two factions reached this decision following discussions held on the matter over the course of the past years. We do not want two separate sects. Now we can do this in the manner agreed and discussed by the Theras. We are united now. We have a Judicature Act and we have held discussions about it and presented proposals. We have presented this to the government, but for some reason these are never implemented. This is the first request we make as a united sect. For these efforts to be 100% successful, we need a Sangha Courts Act. We have done what we must do for the Sasana and we are happy about it. Let us all, both laymen and venerable Theras, call to mind that we have attended these religious activities, performed these meritorious deeds, spent our time, money and energy to successfully complete all of this. With the signing of this agreement, both the Mahanayakas of the two sects will hold the position of chairman of the Amarapura and Ramanya Samagiri Mahasangha Sabha. A complaint was lodged at the Colombo Crimes Division citing that former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa was using two passports. This follows reports which stated Gotabaya Rajapaksa's name did not appear on the official US government publication named Quarterly Publication of Individuals who have chosen to expatriate or renounce US citizenship in the second quarter of 2019. The US Inland Revenue Service document that includes names of people who have renounced US citizenship during the period between March and June 2019 was published yesterday. However, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who claimed he renounced his US citizenship in April this year, was not included in this document. When journalists questioned in this regard, UPFA MP Bandula Gunawardena expressed the following views.
If his name was not included in the list, the only thing that could happen is his name will not be nominated for the elections. It is clear that Gotabaya Rajapaksa has renounced his US citizenship, made a new passport and came to Sri Lanka. This cannot happen. In that sense, the Department of Immigration and Immigration must also be sued.
Sri Lanka පුරවැසි භාවය නීත්‍යානුකූල ලෙස ලබාගෙන තිබෙනවා.
The Puravasi Balaya organization filed a complaint at the police headquarters requesting for an investigation to be carried out, citing Gotabaya Rajapaksa portraying himself as a foreign national, had obtained a new national identity card and used it to obtain a new passport. Police media spokesperson SP Ron Gunasekara said the complaint was directed to the CCD to ascertain if there was any basis for the investigation.
It is a certificate issued by the US State Department which can be considered as the final proof of renunciation of the US citizenship and not a publication. The document, including the list of persons who have chosen to renounce their US citizenship, is not considered as final proof. Therefore, on 3rd of May this year, the US State Department issued a certificate certifying Gotabaya Rajapaksa's withdrawal from US citizenship. This document is currently in the possession of Gotabaya Rajapaksa, and therefore his name not being included in the list is not relevant. For those who claim that Gotabaya Rajapaksa cannot contest in the upcoming presidential election, all I have to say is you can lodge a complaint after Gotabaya Rajapaksa assumes duties as the president of this country.
ඡන්ද පෙත්සමක් ගොනු කිරීම පමණමයි ඔවුන්ට කළ හැක්කේ.
The SLPP is talented in securing fake passports. Following the fake passport issue with MP Vimal Weerawansa, we must also look into the manner in which Gotabaya Rajapaksa obtained a new passport. The government is responsible for issuing Gotabaya Rajapaksa with a new passport. We request the government to look into this matter and reveal how Gotabaya Rajapaksa obtained his new passport. We request the Immigration and Immigration Department. I believe Vijaya Abewardena is the subject minister to look into this matter. This is the problem of this country, not a personal matter. Certain individuals demand that we should show them all the documents. We have no reason to show these documents just because certain people ask for them. All documents will be presented to the Election Commission when the time comes, and we are not prepared to meet the demands of these individuals.
The newly constructed Dhamma school building at the Maligavatta Sri Vanasavana Sadaham Viharasthana in Dompe Gampaha was vested with the students today. The event was held under the auspices of Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Minister Sajjan Premadasa.
This building, constructed with funds from the Central Cultural Fund, was built at a cost of 4 million rupees under the Sisudaham Sevana program. Parliamentarian Harshana Rajkarna, SLFP Dompe organizer Upali Gunaratna and other dignitaries were present at the event.
My aim is to develop education, health, housing, agriculture, irrigation, industry, the youth and the society as a whole. I challenge anyone to come side by side to join the development with Sajjan Premadasa. Beloved mothers and fathers, I have a request. We need a development machine, but it cannot be a machine which develops the Premadasa family. It will never be one. If I get the blessings of the people, I assure you that no one who has a connection to my family will be entertained in the government. If the people of this country take that important decision in November and give me the responsibility, I will walk the talk and truly protect and uphold the Buddha Sasana.
ඒ වැදගත් තීන්දුව අරගෙන ඒ වගකීම මා වෙත පැවරුවොත් මම කටවචනෙන් නෙවෙයි සැබවින්ම බුදු සසුන බබලවනවා ඒ වගේම සම්බුද්ධ ශාසනය ආරක්ෂා කරනවා ගරු සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මැතිතුමනි ඕනෑම.
When constructing a building, its foundation should be the strongest. I noticed that Sajjan Premadasa has a strong foundation. I have been the SLFP Dompe organizer for 25 years. I conclude my speech by wishing you a bright future.
A group of UNP local government representatives and party members organised a rally in Kandy today to pledge their support to Minister Sajjan Premadasa.
The rally was organised to demand the leadership of the United National Party to present Sajjan Premadasa as the party's presidential candidate. According to our correspondent, the supporters marched across the Kandy town.
I would like to state that it will be none other than Sajjan Premadasa who will become the president of this country by the end of the year in December. We don't want Ranil Wickremesinghe. We want Sajjan Premadasa, who is a person who knows the grievances of the poor people of this country. Even if our blood is spilled, we will make Sajjan Premadasa the president of this country in 2020.
පිටින් ගියත් අපි සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මහත්තයා මේ රටේ ජනාධිපති කරනවාමයි. මේ රටේ ඉදිරි නායක.
It is Sajjan Premadasa who will lead this country and the party. That is the opinion from the grassroots up to the national level. Sajjan Premadasa is a person who is contesting true to his heart.
An event to welcome the presidential candidate of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, was held in Hambantota today.
Gotabaya Rajapaksa visited the Kataragama Sri Abhinavarama Viharaya this morning. He met with the chief incumbent of the Viharaya, Venerable Kapugama Sarnathissa Thero, and obtained his blessings.
When Mahinda Rajapaksa invited me to take up the candidacy of the party, I spoke to you about the vision I have for the future of this country. It is a practical program. Through this program, the youth of this country and the country as a whole will be empowered to move forward. I presented before you a program to cement the independence in our country.
Gotabaya Rajapaksa then attended an event organised to welcome him in the Tissa Maharamaya town. Afterwards, Gotabaya Rajapaksa also attended two ceremonies organised to welcome him in Hambantota and Ambalantota.
The Democratic Left Front convened a media briefing today. MP Vasudeva Nayakara was questioned on the upcoming activities of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna.
We are receiving the support of SLF peers who are all over the island. I believe that we will receive the support of President Maithripala Sirisena. The SLPP has signed memorandums of understanding with several parties. We will form an alliance along with the first 10 political parties that will join us. That alliance will be named as the Joint Podujana Peramuna.
අපි එතුමාට දෙන්න පුළුවන් නියෝජ්‍ය අගමැතික. මේ මගේ යෝජනාව. මම මේ විවෘතව කියන්නේ. ඔව් ඒක භාවිතයෙන් නෑ අපි කරන්නේ. ඊට පස්ව ව්‍යවස්ථාවට ඇතුල් කරන්නේ. බලතලත් අපි ඒ අනුව නියම කරනවා. ඔබතුමා ඒ සම්බන්ධව මේ බෝඩ් එකේ සාමාන්‍ය ඔව් මම ඒ අය අතර කතා කරලා තියෙනවා. ඔවුන්ගේ ප්‍රතිචාරය කොහොමද? ඔවුන් ප්‍රතිචාරයක් විරුද්ධව දැක්ුවේ නෑ.
Parliamentarian Thilanga Maithripala from the Sri Lanka Freedom Party convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
There is no position like that in this country. But if the leader of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party is not the leader of this country, or the Prime Minister, or the opposition leader, we are in discussion with parties on how we can work with them with dignity. We have continued to hold these discussions. All minor political parties are holding discussions on how the leader and the Sri Lanka Freedom Party can be given the highest possible position. They have held discussions about this. President Maithripala Sirisena and the Sri Lanka Freedom Party are hoping to hold direct discussions with the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna and Gotabaya Rajapaksa.
Gotabaya Rajapaksa මැතිතුමා එක්ක ඍජු සාකච්ඡාවක් ඇති කරගන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා.
එතකොට යම් හේකින් ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මහත්මයා නොමිනේෂන් අරගෙන මේ ඉදිරිපත් වෙනවා නම් තරගෙට උතුරේ දමිළ ජනතාව නැගෙනහිර මුස්ලිම් ජනතාවගේ මේ ඡන්දය ලබා ගැනීමට මොන වගේ වැඩපිළිවෙලද ඔබතුමා හිතනවාද මේ ඡන්ද ලැබෙයි කියලා?
President Maithripala Sirisena is the person who can win the trust of the minority communities. We think it would be advantageous to any presidential candidate to get the support of Maithripala Sirisena to receive this support.
ශක්තිය එකතු කරගත්තා නම් ජනාධිපති අපේක්ෂකයට වාසි කියලා අපි හිතයි.
MP Vasudeva Nayakara was questioned about the views expressed regarding CV Vigneshwaran today.
No, I did not hear anything about it, but there are such rumours. If Vigneshwaran contests against the Tamil National Alliance, the same amount of TNA votes will not be given to the UNP. Yes, if he contests, some of the TNA votes will be lost, and those votes will not be given to the UNP, so it will be an advantage.
දැනට අපට පුළුවන්කමක් නැහැ.
Currently, we cannot. If the TNA is going to the Northern Provincial Council, these two steps cannot be taken. But if the Northern Provincial Council is to be headed by Devanathan, it is okay to implement these two steps.
ආම ගැනීම ගැන ගැටලුවක් නැහැ.
ඔබතුමාලගේ 11 වෙනිදා මේ කෝට්ටුවේ සමුළුයි. හිටියා එක්තරා පුද්ගලයෙක් ඇවිල්ලා. වරදරාජ පෙරුමා.
ඔව් ආවා.
එතකොට ඔහු තමයි මේ ඊළාම් රාජ්‍යත් මේවා කරන්න ඕන කියලා නම් කරපු එකම පුද්ගලයා.
ඔව්. ඔව් ඒ කරපු
He made that statement in a different situation. He did not present it as an idea, and we have joined him while agreeing that he will take back if he made such a statement.
ඔව්ත් එක්ක අපි එකතු වී තිබේ.
The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
එහෙම විශේෂ ආරාධනාවක් නැහැ. හැබැයි එකතු වෙන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් ඔබතුමාලා තාම ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේනේ. මේක අපිට මාස 3ක විතර අපව කියනවා. ඒතර මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මහත්තයා මොකේද කියන්නේ? මහින්ද පොදුජන පෙරමුණ නායකයා. ඒ කියන්නේ එතුමා ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ නෑ. එතුමාගේ මන්ත්‍රී ධූරයත් අහෝසි නේද හරි ක්‍රමයට බැලුවොත්. මේ තව මාස දෙක.
There is only another 3 months for all of this, the presidential election and the general election to end. If they are trying to slit our throats before that, that is not unjust, and if they want to, they can do it. No, yesterday during the media briefing, Mahinda Amarveera clearly said that no matter who speaks about a disciplinary inquiry, there is no need for something like that.
මහින්ද අමරවීර මහතා කිව්වා කවුරු විනය පරීක්ෂණ ගැන කතා කරත් විනය පරීක්ෂණ කරන්න අවශ්‍යතාවයක් නැහැ කියලා.
The Janata Vimukti Peramuna also convened a media briefing at their party headquarters today. Views were expressed regarding the party's preparations for the presidential election.
Our front is not something that was put together in a rush. It is the force of the people. It is a movement of the people. The inaugural rally of this people's movement is scheduled to be held on the 18th at the Golf Face Green. We will be presenting our presidential candidate at this rally. Yes, we will be fielding the best candidate from our faction, a person who has many years of political experience and a person who can go toe-to-toe with the candidates of other parties.
A ceremony to present Ranaparashua to the Sri Lanka Army Special Forces marking the presentation of the president's and regimental colours was held today. The event was held under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena.
President Maithripala Sirisena was warmly welcomed when he arrived at the regimental headquarters in Naula. The president paid floral tributes to the war heroes memorial in the premises. The head of state then presented the special presidential Ranaparashua Award and regimental war hero award.
ඇතැම් අවස්ථාවලදී යුද්ධයේදී මේ හමුදාවන්ට නායකත්වය දුන්නා. යුද්ධයේ මෙහෙයු ඇතැම් පුජ්‍යලයින් අද මේ රටේ.
It is sad to hear how some of the leaders who coordinated the war in this country and provided leadership to it speak about the country's national security now. These insults on national security by some responsible individuals are motivated by their own political agendas, their personal agendas and their political deviousness. The Tri-Forces together with the police and the intelligence units have performed their duties well. Against such a backdrop, I am saddened by these people who think that your dedication and commitment to national security is not enough. All of these are being coordinated to fulfill certain political agendas.
කනගාටු වෙනවා. ඒ සියල්ල යම් යම් දේශපාලන න්‍යාය පත්‍ර තුලයි කටයුතු කරන්නේ.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe attended a number of events in the Jaffna District today.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe inspected the cultural centre in Jaffna today. A discussion on the developments of the Jaffna District chaired by the Prime Minister was held at the Jaffna Divisional Secretariat. A number of MPs from the Tamil National Alliance also attended the discussions.
how we are going to develop Palali. That's a matter of a week or 10 days. It's not something that takes years. Now we are going to the site also. If you want, we can sit in Colombo next week and take a decision as to what should be the length of the runway. But all the plans have been by the civil aviation, because I know the international one had to go into the sea, and there was a question of landfill, which we felt wasn't worth it at this stage. It was better to be a regional airport.
Located approximately 16 kilometers north of the city of Jaffna, the airport was originally built by the British and later served as the country's second international airport. The inaugural flight by Air Ceylon on the 10th of December 1947 was from Ratmalana Airport to Madras. While the discussions were ongoing, external graduates staged a demonstration opposite the district secretariat demanding for justice. A few demonstrators were given the opportunity to hold discussions, and a letter was also presented to the Prime Minister.
We are not against the government, but why is there a separation between internal and external degrees? This is unfair. If good governance is being implemented, we request for appointments to be given to us before the election. If we are not given appointments, we will have the power to decide the fate of this government.
Ranil Wickremesinghe, who lost 29 elections while being the leader of the United National Party, completely destroyed the hopes and aspirations of UNP supporters due to his desire of protecting his throne. He was appointed to the position of Prime Minister thanks to the victory of President Maithripala in 2015. Within 3 months of rising to power, Ranil Wickremesinghe appointed his close associate Arjuna Mahendran to the position of Governor of the Central Bank, setting the stage for the largest financial scam in the history of Sri Lanka. It was none other than the Prime Minister of this country who created the necessary conditions for the hard-earned money of the general public in the Employees' Provident Fund to be robbed. The time has come again for the general public to be mindful of such actions. The immediate loss caused to the government on the 27th of February 2015, the day the infamous bond scam occurred, was 688 million rupees. The long-term loss due to the bond scam is in the billions and has not been exactly calculated yet. The forensic audit being conducted into the bond scam is expected to reveal the exact amount. Although the loss caused by the second bond scam in 2016 has not been ascertained as yet, the loss suffered by the Employees' Provident Fund is in excess of 8,500 million rupees. This is the hard-earned money of the people of this country. These politicians have forgotten that. Certain foreign embassies have also forgotten this. But the memory of this crime against the people of this country has not faded away from the hearts of the general public.
According to the Ministry of Finance, during the first quarter of 2019, state-owned enterprises recorded losses of more than 59 billion rupees.
Experts point out, with the increasing cost of state upkeep, the losses have increased over the years. It is approximately 10.7% of the total tax revenue of 551.5 billion rupees during the first quarter of this year. This is the voice of the people.
They are using for their own benefit. So they are taking cars, bulletproof cars. If that money can be given to the poor people, that's better.
It's being used for one certain part, one certain area, but it should be divided, like it's all people tax, so it should be divided, but that is not happening.
The money that they're taking is not being used properly.
Government expenditure during the first quarter of 2019 also increased by 10.1% to 962 billion rupees compared to the same period of 2018. Speaking to Newsfirst, Emeritus Professor of the University of Colombo said the continuous increase of state expenditure will widen the state's budget deficit, which will ultimately increase the total debt burden of Sri Lanka.
We cannot really reduce public expenditure unless you rationalize the state machinery. Public sector, as you know, is financed entirely by public money. We have not been able to streamline the government machinery for a long time. There is an absolute necessity to rationalize public expenditure because we all know that there is a huge gap between state revenue on the one hand and state expenditure on the other hand. That means that we have to borrow money from all sources to bridge the budget deficit.
News First conducted a poll posing the question, do you believe your tax money is being spent efficiently? As at 7:45 p.m. this evening, 94% voted no, while 6% voted yes.
The Ceylon Teachers Services Union alleges that there are several issues, including questions that are not related to the syllabus of the Grade 5 scholarship being included in the examination, which was held this year. Secretary of the association, Mahinda Jayasinghe, told News First that the students have been the victims of injustice of this.
The Grade 5 scholarship examination was held on the 4th of August this year. 39,369 candidates from 2,995 examination centres sat for the exam this year. The sixth question of the first paper, the question is related to constructing a triangle. This hasn't been mentioned in the grade 3 and 4 syllabus. This certain part is taught for students in grade 8. It's included on the second mathematics book for grade 8. The 43rd question of the second paper. Here the student is questioned on which part of a plant is mostly responsible for the production of food. This section is related to photosynthesis. This part is not even taught in grade 6 or 7. There is a spelling mistake in the word Savana. Here the students have faced injustice. Yesterday paper marking began. We informed this to the Examinations Commissioner in writing. Speaking to News First, the Commissioner General of Examinations, Sanat B. Pujitha, stated that the committee had met and discussed the relevant issues. Accordingly, the Commissioner General of Examinations stated that no injustice will be done to the students who sat the examination.
Let's now take a look at some news in brief.
31 colonels of the Sri Lanka Army were promoted to the rank of brigadier. Based on the recommendations of the commander of the army, the president granted the colonels the promotion. Officers who were promoted following the 31st program conducted by the Indian Military Academy and the 6th program conducted by the Science Faculty of the Kotalavala Defence University. 5 suspects were arrested by the Police Special Task Force for the murder of organised criminal Anamalu Ranga and 2 others near the Madam Peter Cemetery in Grand Pass. Police media spokesperson SP Ruwan Gunasekara said the suspects were arrested in Hunupitiya, Vattala while attempting to evade the police in a 3-wheeler. Meanwhile, 3 other suspects were arrested in connection to this murder yesterday and they were remanded until the 23rd of this month. The son of an influential leader of the now banned National Tawheed Jamaat, Naufur Maulavi, was arrested in Ampara. Police media spokesperson SP Ruwan Gunasekara said the 16-year-old suspect, Mohammed Naufur Abdullah, received weapons training in Norelia. The Ampara police made the arrest with the intel provided by the State Intelligence Service. The suspect's father, Naufur Maulavi, is currently in custody of the Criminal Investigations Department.
And that's a wrap of Primetime News for tonight. I'm Charlene Benedict for the News First team. Thank you very much for watching. Take care and God bless.